based out of Vijayawada. And with immense pleasure, let me take you through Dr. Edward Danny's profile. He is the Chief R&D Officer working on research. The areas are food safety, backward integration, farming initiatives and quality assurance at fresh2home.com, which is an e-commerce platform for fresh, chilled seafood and other meats. He has previously worked in various roles in food production, aqua farming operations in India and abroad, including FAO, Indonesia, and he is an expert in aquaculture and food safety. Please put your hands together. And Dr. Akshay Panigrahi is the principal scientist, CIBA. Dr. Panigrahi did his doctorate from the Tokyo University of Marine Science and Technology and has been working in CIBA since 1997. He has led several projects on diversification of species, farming systems, disease surveillance, and adoption of better management practices in shrimp farming. He has also successfully undertaken projects for the propagation of native species of shrimp like Indian white shrimps, banana and tiger shrimp. And last but not the least, let me take you through the profile of Mr. Nitin Awasthi, who is a research analyst in Incred Equities and is a known voice in Indian shrimp trade. His incisive mind and critical thinking about the shrimp sector makes him one of the highly regarded voice in the shrimp business ecosystem. Can I hear a round of applause for all the gentlemen we are having on the dais? And I will Singh welcome you to the second session. Over to Mr. Prabhas Pradhan.
जमी मुझे आपण मान को कहूली जे आमर एथर जो सेशन गुड़ा अच्छी इनफैक्ट इट विल हेल्प द फार्मर्स एंड एंटरप्रेन्योर्स आम एथर एक्वाकल्चर 2.0 जोटा कि इट विल फोकस मोर ऑन इनोवेशन एंड टेक्नोलॉजी ता सहित केमती मार्केट चैलेंज अच्छी एवं मार्केट अपॉर्चुनिटीज कौन अच्छी तार ऊपर मध्य फ्रेश टू होम कहिबे एवं इंडियन एक्वाकल्चर मेकिंग इंडियन एक्वाकल्चर इन्वेस्टेबल सो केमिति आम इकोसिस्टम डेवलप करी इंडियन एक्वाकल्चर को एक इन्वेस्टमेंट जोन भाव डेवलप करि परिबा दैट इज आल्सो अनदर टॉपिक मिस्टर नितिन अवस्थी विल बी सेइंग एंड डॉक्टर अक्षय पाणिग्राही जी की बायोफ्लॉक फार्मिंग गोटे पॉपुलर कांसेप्ट आज चली एवं तार विषय कहे सो आई रिक्वेस्ट डॉक्टर पाणिग्राही अक्षय पाणिग्राही टू चेयर द सेशन एंड each speaker is requested 10 minutes. So after that we will have question and answer sessions. So that will be more fruitful and effective. So I request all speakers to stick to that time schedule. So then we will have more questions with the audience. Thank you very much. You can speak there also.
Namaskar. So, bhai bhoni manangu. We proceed with this technical session, and we know always when this kind of thing is associated with exhibition, people have diverse interest and this one, but I am happy that it is both in virtual mode and this in real mode also, so people will be listening to us. And today we know, like if we talk of Indian aquaculture, especially most of you are from shrimp aquaculture side, you know, like we are in the crossroad. We are touching almost 1 million metric ton of production. We were almost for 2-3 years number one in the world, and just shortly Ecuador has taken over. Again, that is again we are talking of the innovations. Morning we were talking that why Ecuador could surpass us, because all this, even the creation of Venamai, SPF Venamai itself is the number one innovation. You know, we all Monodon we left and we are all into this Venamai era. So this one side we are talking of 1 million production or even doubling the production. Our target जोड़ा अच्छी 14 lakh metric ton आउ 3 वर्ष भितर आमे पहुंचवा दरकार. But other side, you go to any farmer, you go whether you are happy, I think hardly you will find anybody. Number of diseases. It is like a series of diseases, emerging diseases, existing that WSSV, IMNV and all, and emerging are EHP, white fecal disease, and every time, every 6 months, one new billion is coming, and we are struggling to come over that. And one side we are talking of this organic based farming, one, and another side with intensification and all these things. So we are really in a crossroad, and we are talking of antibiotic abuse and all those things also. So what we need to tackle this problem is innovation. Innovation is the center for any creativity, and it is not that only scientists or highly educated ones will be the innovators. Any farmer you go, by default they are innovator, and we go to farmer as a scientist, we consider, and we learn a lot of things from them. And today it is my friend Sri Dhruva Jyoti Banerjee, CEO Godrej Agrovet. He will be talking about the innovations in aquaculture. Over to. Thank you.
Hello. Yeah. So, very good afternoon to all of you, my industry friends, respected professors from institute like SIBA, Dr. Panigrahi. And I am very happy and thankful to all of you for having the patience even after the food. So I think I will start with like aquaculture 2, what it means to all of us who are working in this industry very, very closely for so many years. And I had the privilege of working in poultry, dairy and aquaculture, all the three livestock sectors. Okay. Everybody in the morning, the government people, and they have done a lot. I am very, very thankful to them. They have supported the industry really. So aquaculture 2 is, in my mind, not about just doubling the production. We are talking of doubling everything. Shrimp production doubling, fish production doubling, doubling the farmer's income. Okay. But in my mind, aquaculture 2 is all about how do we sustain the growth, how do we make the farmers' income more profitable and sustainable. So if we can't sustain, if we cannot be competitive, this aquaculture 2, we will not get the full potential. So for me, sustainability is the main thing, and that's how we have chosen this topic, that what will help us, what kind of innovative technology will help us to be sustainable in the long term. Already Dr. Panigrahi shared that Ecuador has taken us as the #1 shrimp producer. Just last 2 years, we lost that position to that country. Okay. But we have immense potential. So I will take you through some of the key indicators which tell us in which direction we have to work. So definitely our blue economy is getting bigger and bigger. We are becoming, getting a lot of positions, accolades in the world industry. So this is one very great indicator, and since we all belong to aquaculture sector, we all feel very proud. If you see all the sectors, the fisheries sector is contributing and growing the fastest among all the livestock sector. It is growing by almost 8% in the last 1 decade. And it is contributing almost 66% livestock and fishery together in the entire GVA added by the agriculture and the livestock sector. So it speaks a lot about what we are contributing to the entire economy. Yeah. Also, I was saying that we are thankful to government because they are investing so much, and just see the return on investment on this sector. So it's phenomenal. Why? Because we are bringing that $6 billion every year into the India's economic kitty, and it's not a small amount. And this is just from the export earnings what we have from shrimp and marine products. And here also we are talking about, I think the MPEDA has taken a very aggressive goal of doubling this income and taking it to almost $13 billion in next 4 to 5 years. So as I was saying, sustainability is something which will take us to this next aquaculture point 2. So now one of the key things we know is what in the shrimp industry particularly I am saying is the fish meal. And lot of research work has already been carried out that how do we replace this fish meal, because it is both scarce and it is very costly. As we keep adding fish meal, costly fish meal, it increases our cost of feed production and has a very adverse impact on the farmer's income as well. So now these are some of the very novel kind of research work that has been carried out. We as a company, Godrej, we are also actively involved in research and development work, and I can say to you that some of them has actually come to a commercial stage of application, at least in the area of single cell protein, insect protein. They are now very, very viable, and I think in the coming years you will see a lot of usage of these novel ingredients in our feed, and this will definitely help us to bring the cost of the production. And this is the need of the hour, because to increase the production by this much huge quantity, we don't have that much of fish. The fish catch is coming down every year. So we have to look for this kind of novel things. So already a lot of companies globally, they have started working on this. China is installing a very big plant. So it is there, and I am hopeful the private companies in India will also take these steps on taking the full advantage of these kind of novel ingredients. Yeah. So as I was saying that in the world where we are exporting the shrimp, the customers have become very, very now conscious about what they are eating, what goes into producing of the shrimp. Each and every raw material they want to know. It's in the consumer label packaging, they will read. And that's how we are feeling that if we have to remain competitive, so this entire traceability of the things, how do we farm, what practices, what we do, even the antibiotics usage thing, and this entire the way the quality standards we maintain during the feed production. So each and every steps becomes very important in that step. So there were, just go back. Yeah. So this is another very good thing about our aqua industry. Consistently for last so many years, there has been huge amount of technology adoption in aquaculture industry. So you can see this 1985, all this kind of aeration water exchange system, it got introduced, and every decade there has been new technology which gets adopted in this sector. So this is a very, very tech oriented industry, I will say, and we have seen the benefits of many of this technology which has flown. And lot of this technology has come to India also, and we have also integrated this technology in our farming, the way we produce feed, the way we process our shrimp. Yeah. So this is our typical traditional Indian farm, the earthen pond where we grow our shrimp or fish. Okay. And this is where the world has moved or advanced to. Even if you go to our neighboring countries, they have now very sophisticated RAS system, PE line kind of ponds, and a very, very high intensive kind of a shrimp farming they have been doing. But again I am saying India is very different. And within India, again, if I have to talk about Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, West Bengal, Odisha, they are very different. Each state is a country in itself in India. And if we talk about India, these are the reality. We are talking about non-uniform pond conditions. We are talking about very low intensity. Somebody was saying in the morning, they do 20, 30, 40, at least wherever there is not much of other infrastructure available. Then it is highly labor intensive. In this COVID time, we have all realized that until the labor was not there, we were very afraid, how we will do farming. The smaller size again is a big problem, and we have seen this impact of weather and climate. The second crop, all the stakeholders in the shrimp industry got badly affected because of weather and erratic monsoon events. So then what is the solution? Now these are some of the solutions where I see a lot of people, including a lot of startups, Indian startups, they have been working. One is this automation, auto feeder, the monitoring and capturing of the data, And when I say data, because I keep on visiting farms, and I see when I look and check for a record book, so even they don't have the basic record book, even the manual one, okay. And we are talking about that something which they will keep digitally. And then obviously the management. So these IoT enabled devices are already there. The startups, they have really came up with very good solution. But the question is that how do we adopt that in the Indian condition? So this is one way I see. Second thing is, yeah, go to the next slide. This for me is again more important than the data, because the disease itself has causing so much of losses. Almost 30 to 40% of the total produce get lost, or we get lesser that much of output because of the disease incidence. And it comes so sudden, the farmer is just not prepared. Okay, there is no early indicators of all this disease. So what we need to do? So there is no easy answer, I am saying, to all this problem. Even though we do soil and water testing, and even though we do traceability, but in Indian condition, whatever I have experienced, and even with some of these smart startups, I have said, they have got limited success. Okay, it's only because of the fact that in India things are different. The local conditions are very different. So in my experience and in my opinion, yeah, just go. Yeah, next slide. So I would like to focus on the basics, going back to the root things. And for me, these are the 4 and 5 very basic things where we need to concentrate. So one is the PL, obviously. So you have so many hatcheries, and now you have got to know from where you are sourcing your seed and PN. And you have to be really, really careful about what you are getting, test it all out before you place it in your pond. Soil regeneration is something which is getting neglected. We are using the same pond for so many culture and cycle. We are not giving it the rest it requires. Okay, and it is very much needed. This is the need of the hour in the Indian shrimp industry. Even for fish also, I will say the same thing. The soil regenerative capacity, if you do multiple culture, it coming down. And nobody is doing soil testing. Everybody is doing water test parameters. Okay, but in terms of what is the nutrient profile of the soil, I found that thing grossly lacking in our Indian condition. So that is something I would like to promote and encourage, that we do more of soil profiling, and basis that we take a decision of what kind of products and supplements and feed to use. Because that is going to reduce your cost of production also, because many times I have seen people using excessively amount of nutrition, which is not required. Water quality, I need not to say how important this is. All of you who are associated with shrimp and fishery, you know what is the importance of water quality and how to maintain that. Okay. So I have seen when I visit these northern parts of India, how they struggle to maintain water quality, especially during winter times. Okay. So there is a plankton crash, there is this COD, BOD coming down. So there are solutions to that, and those solutions are very local solutions. We can have small these water heaters. I have seen people using aerators and this things in fishery ponds also. So that also helps to keep them their oxygen level quite high. And you have also got these oxygen tablets for an emergency and SOS purpose. So, but the farmer has to be prepared, well prepared for all these kind of exigencies. Quality feed, quality feed is, again, I will say it plays a big role, not only in terms of cost, because 50% of your cost of production comes from the feed, but it also plays a very big role in terms of what kind of performance and quality of fish and shrimp you are going to produce. It also determines what kind of immunity your fish and shrimp will get to fight with all kind of challenges, environmental stress, disease challenges. So feed is one that single large factor, I will say, which can contribute in so many ways to make this profession and this farming profitable and sustainable. And obviously disease, as I said, the farmer has to be very, very mindful. He has to be always look out for early indicators, signs, and take preventive actions. So my strong belief is that if we just focus on the basic things and adopt those technologies which are suited to our local conditions, then we will be very successful, and this farming and this blue revolution will become actually a reality. And I urge all of you to spread this message that we have the technology, we have research institutes like SIBA, our own fishermen, our own people, they are doing lot of innovative things at their pond level. So those are very, very simple and effective things and can help us go a long way. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dhruv. You have nicely covered many aspects of innovation and the way forward. Actually, some of the interesting thing he covered is how we can go back to the basics, because we know talking of big things and this parameter, that parameter, finally our farmers, I have the experience, and we have not properly even guiding them how to take the pH, how to take the, and soil, one thing he told, soil is almost a neglected thing. If you remember, some of you are technician and you remember that soil, we earlier used to know the EH of soil and it's positive or negative, all those things. Those things we should again, for the soil regeneration and all those things are important. So in that context, this topic was very, very important. And now we'll, thank you so much, Dhruv. And now we'll go to our next presentation. That again, my friend Edward, yours, no? Okay, so that is about marketing again, this domestic marketing. You know now morning, Amar Sagar Mehra sir, ki Jena sir, jo DDG, ସେମାନେ ସମସ୍ତେ କହୁଥିଲେ ପ୍ରଡକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ଆମର ବଢ଼ିବା ଦରକାର, ଓଡ଼ିଶାର ପ୍ରଡକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ଟିକେ କମ୍ ଅଛି, ଆନ୍ଧ୍ରପ୍ରଦେଶରେ 9 ଟନ୍ ହେଲା ବେଳକୁ ଆମେ 4 ଟନ୍ 5 ଟନ୍ରେ ଷ୍ଟ୍ରଗଲ୍ କରୁଛେ, ଲାଇକୱାଇଜ୍ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରି ସାରାର ପ୍ରଡକ୍ଟିଭିଟି 6-7 ଟନ୍, ଯଦି ସମସ୍ତେ ତାଙ୍କ ଆମର ଏଭରେଜ୍ ଅଛି ଯେ ଆମେ ବଢ଼ିକି we should be, all countries should have average productivity of 9 ton per hectare. So ଯଦି ଆମେ ସେତିକି productivity ଯିବା and a very ambitious projection, our projection ଅଛି ଆମେ 3 million ton କରିବା, 3 million ton ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଯଦି ସାରା world ରେ if you see total consumption is somewhere like 3 to 4 million ton, 30-40 ଲକ୍ଷ ଆମର total ये करछन हम इंडिया रो प्रोडक्शन लेवल बहुत बड़ी बड़ी चलची. सो ऑल्सो इक्वेडर अदर साउथ अमेरिकन कंट्री आ समस्तंकर प्रोडक्शन प्रोडक्टिविटी बड़ी बड़ी चलची. तेणु व्हाट इज द वे आउट, आम इंडिया रो जेहेतु पॉपुलेशन बहुत, आमर मेन थिंग है हाउ वी कैन इंक्रीज दैट दिस डोमेस्टिक प्रोडक्शन. आमे आपण माने जानिचंती 1991 रे आमे जेतेबेले मु थिली डिप्सन कंपनी रे, मोर ये थी क्षीरोद भी थी मो सांगे थिला मो नियोस्पार्क हेड. ओके, सो आमे सेतेबेले थिलु, सेतेबेले भी जेतेबेले फीड केजी 25 टंका 30 टंका थिला पेलेट फीड, सेतेबेले चिंगुडी केजी भी 300 टंका रे जाउथला. आमे सेतेबेले हाईएस्ट प्रोडक्शन 12-13 टन देथिलु मनोडन लो, सेतेबेले रिकॉर्ड प्रोडक्शन थिला. एबे भी जदी देखिबे से दैट सेलिंग प्राइस इज सेम, फीड कॉस्ट इज समवेयर 100 रुपीस 150. सो देयर इज अ नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड केमिति आमे मार्केटिंग इफेक्टिवली करि परिबा. that way forward is shown by this fresh to home, my friend Edward. And now over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Panigre, for that wonderful introduction. I am Dr. Edward from Fresh to Home. So today I will talk to you about how we have cornered the domestic marketing and our model through which we have placed the very difficult product of shrimp or seafood, meat and poultry into the hands of the Indian consumer. So this is an alternate model to the wet markets that we see. So I'll just talk about what is the platform that we use, how it works, what are the behind scenes, how it was founded, how it was designed and things like that. So it is more of an interesting story how the Fresh to Home product has been delivered to the customers. So in 2015, Shan Kadavil, our CEO, used to buy seafood online sitting in Bangalore from Matthew, who was actually from the seafood industry. He has more than 30 years of seafood experience, and he was having a e-commerce platform called Sea2Home. And at one point of time, suddenly Shan could not buy his fish. So then he got in touch with him, and when they had a discussion, and then they thought about doing this business in a bigger scale, and then Fresh2Home was born. So why Fresh2Home? So why should customers buy from you? So that is the first thing that we have to think about. For customers, fish, meat, or whatever products are there, it's all available. So some speakers before me was talking about traceability, about the source of food from where we get. So this is the thing that Fresh2Home ensures. We kind of procure all our food directly from the producers, from the farmers, and so we know where our fish is coming. And then it goes through a lot of quality checks. It goes through our own exclusive process plants, and there is an exclusive cold chain through which all these products move, and the cold chain are all data logged, and we know exactly at each point of time at which point our goods are there and at what temperature is there, and these kind of things are there. So not only technology, people is the next thing which is very important. So Fresh2Home has a very, very strong people from different technology, like the IT technology or the human resource or the aquaculture technology, the innovations, and a whole load of data scientists to work behind the scenes. Next slide, please. So if we look at the seafood market, what is it? How big is it? It is close to about $50 billion, which is almost the same size as Hollywood film market. Many people would not know this or realize this. So the seafood market or the fresh food market is as big as that. So in that, if you see, almost 97% of it is organized. 97% of it is unorganized, and only 3% of it is organized. So you can see how big an opportunity it is, and only recently very few companies like Fresh2Home or Big Basket or Licious or Tender Cuts, these type of companies have actually come into the scene. So not only India, if you look at the regional level, it's also a massive opportunity. It is unbelievable. So by the year 25, it is predicted it will be more than, rather close to $300 billion. That is, I'm talking about GCC countries and the Southeast Asian countries. Next slide, please. So if you look at from where you buy your seafood today, it is we see it all over the place, and it has also been documented through various scientific studies, how retail markets are handled. There is no exclusive areas where you can clean fish in an hygienic manner or buy it, and also the cold chain is not at all there, it is almost like non-existent. You can just see that the fishes are dumped and then they're just sold as it is, and then it is always in a very unhygienic condition. So this is an unmet. So if you see, as India is developing, people want to get their products from hygienic places, and they want in a good, the presentation should be good. These kind of things people are expecting today. So these are the unmet needs of the market. Go to the next slide. So in addition to that, what are the other issues? So formalin, ammonia, these kind of chemical contaminants are a big thing in seafood. They don't want to maintain the cold chain. So these products are adulterated with a lot of different types of chemicals, like again sodium benzoate is there. So the public can be very easily deceived, and a lot of adulterants are there. So that is where the information about your products and the traceability of these products are very, very important. Right from the farmer to the end consumer, or to the point where you are selling, it needs to be traced, and the consumer needs to know where he is getting his food from, so that it is he knows that he is giving a healthy food to his family. So how do we do it? So we have a technology enabled procurement system from the fishermen. I will discuss about these points in more detail as we go forward. And we do a lot of backward integration, where we have integrated with farmers and we buy fish, shrimp, meat, poultry from the farmers directly. And we have our own cold chain network through which we move. And also we have our own cold delivery chain, where we have our own delivery boys, and we deliver it to the customers' doorsteps. So this is the unmet need, So what is the expectation by the farmer, by the customer. They expect a very good, hygienic, clean food. But what do they actually get? If you see, you have seen poultry has a very good back end. It's a very biosecure industry. But when they handle it in the market, it is in very deplorable conditions that the birds are handled. Likewise, if you see the seafood, the fisherman, when he brings the fish from the sea, it is very fresh, very nice, very hygienic. But what happens once it is handled in the market? During auction, it takes a long time. There is no cold chain. Then it is sold to the other people who transport it without proper cold chain. And then again it is sent to some other types of middlemen, smaller markets, distributors. And finally it reaches the customers in really bad condition. So also it takes a lot of time. It takes more than 3 days, 4 days. But in our case, immediately after landing or from the harvest, the minute we put it into our truck, it gets into our digital inventory, and the customer can actually order his fish when it is being even transported from the landing center to the process plant. So not only fish, if you see every consumer product today, be it consumer electronics, you are all familiar with Amazon, Flipkart and things like that. So almost all types of products now are available and you can buy them online. So how do we enfranchise with the customers? We have a digital app which you can download on the Android or on the iStore, and then we sell our products through these apps. And we have operating now in about 8 big cities and more than 100 small cities. And we are what you call profitable in some of our bigger locations. So also when you are presenting your product to the customer, there is a certain level of expectation. So to do that, the packing, the way we are delivering it to the customer, all these things become very important, and our communication becomes very important, so that the consumer is sure what is the product that they are getting, whether it is fresh or pure. These concepts have to get across to the customer. So right now we sell close to 25,000 tons of fresh food across multiple product categories. And if you go to our app, you can see that we have a whole load of different types of products available in this area. So just if you see, we are an e-commerce platform, but we just don't focus on our software at all. In addition to our software, we also have a hardware and the service layer, which is the whole product production, processing, transport of it, and then the service layer which delivers it to the customer in a IoT enabled cold chain. So we know end to end what is the temperature that we have. And the farmers that we contract, we also technically we monitor them. We give them inputs for production. We give them technical advice, and we make sure that these products which they produce are antibiotic free. We also have continuous monitoring and testing also. So it is the same thing. So for both procurement and from the market end, the bigger markets we have integrated, and also we do a procurement from a very wide geographical area. So this, if in one area if it is not available, or if it is not price is higher, we can procure from another area. So these are the modes that we have created to sustain this business through a higher level of integration with both market and purchase. So our CEO was recognized by the Prime Minister as Champions of Change in 2018. And we provide close to 10,000 direct employment to different employee and farmer categories. And so this is the kind of social impact we have been able to create over the last 6 years in the domestic seafood, in the domestic fresh meat and seafood marketing. So when you look at the procurement, how we do this, we have given an app to the customer, to the fishermen. It is very simple. There are only pictures of fish in it, and the names of the fishes are there. So the fishermen don't know too much to read or write. So if he has to sell to us, so let us say he has 1,000 kgs of fish to sell, he can just click on the picture of the fish, he can put whatever quantity he has, and he can bid with us, he can give a price to us. I want to sell at this price. And what our backend, so no human intervention happens, the backend computer will compare the price that it is being offered, and it will see for the same fish, for example sardine we want to buy, it will see how much is sardine costing in Orissa, sardine costing in Chennai or in Kerala or in some other coast, and it will tell which is the optimum place to buy the quantity and the cost, and then it will advise. So we have placed all our procurement people all over the coast, so it will give the purchase order to the most optimized price and volume point, and suppose if it happens to be Malpe in Mangalore, the Malpe team will be buying the fish. So this is totally automated. The next thing. So after buying, if you do not handle your fish properly, if it is not done hygienically, if the cold chain is not maintained, then there again you will fail. So we have developed our own cold chain. So this is totally IoT enabled, and all the temperature requirements and whatever FSSAI requirements are, it will be fully fulfilled throughout the cold chain right up to the point it reaches the customer. So likewise, we have our own in-house processing ability at almost all the major cities, starting from Kochi, Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, Pune, Bombay, Noida and Calcutta, and these process plants also have, these are all big process plants. They can do close to 25,000-30,000 orders a day. Next slide. So in addition to this, we have a range of convenience, ready to cook and ready to eat products, and we manufacture these also in very hygienic, high-tech kitchen factory environments. So the packing and presentation also, all our products are packed in vacuum packs, which is totally devoid of air. So it will also help in the what you call tamper proof it will be, and also it will be all the orders are QR coded, and each order can be identified in the computer as to where it is going and to which customer it is going, and finally it is presented neatly in a paper bag to the customer. So this is the delivery chain, how it operates. There are insulated bags which are packed with frozen gel ice, so that again the chill temperature is maintained, and we have our exclusive delivery chain with our own, we do not outsource it, and it is done through our own staff, so that the quality and the cold chain is maintained. So this is as every company there is an operating system, a food safety operating system, which is as per the requirements of FSSAI and other international standards. So all these only people do it for export market. So here I want to emphasize that all these things, if anybody will inspect our plant, it will be of international standards. So today that is the kind of expectation that the Indian customer is also having from Indian products. So as our economy is growing, as the people are becoming more knowledgeable, as the internet information through internet and other channels are increasing, the expectation of the customer is also going up. So it is second to none. It is an export quality level packing and delivery and experience that we give to our customer. So quality assurance, also we have in-house laboratory, and more than 100-150 checks we do for our various products, and every day, each and every batch products are tested and certified at our laboratories. So again, when your customer gets your product, there is a customer experience and customer complaint is there. So we have an automated system which will give us all the daily details of all the tickets and how many types of complaints are coming and how the complaints are, and what type of action we can take on this. Next slide. So customer communication. So all these are some of our what you call advertising banners. So we make sure that we test for all the antibiotic residues. We make sure there are no harmful chemicals, and so we also make sure about the temperature, the method of packing, the method of delivery, and all these things. And these facts are advertised through newspaper, and also we have some experience stores where people can come and experience these products, which is also like some people still need the touch and feel before they go to the online mode. So this thing is done through those experience centers, which are actually also developed as retail stores. So some of the opportunities that are there is that there is a huge growth in e-grocery happening right now in our country. It is getting bigger. Lot of investments are coming in. Readily available technology is there. We are software kings. So this is very easily possible in India. And there are also now big domestic and international buyers also who can buy with forward contracts. They can, if you are able to work with them, they will be able to give you contracts for buying shrimp and put it into the domestic market. And if you see from the consumption point of view of seafood, it is the Indian consumption is only 4 to 7 kgs, whereas internationally it is more than 20 kgs. So that itself is a very big gap that we can fill. So some of the recommendations that I would like to tell is you have to see how this could be done. Maybe not possible in isolation, but maybe some cluster efforts like that, which can go into some kind of joint outreach, like the egg consumption campaign. Some campaigns could be run by shrimp farmers associations or other associations. Outreach can happen, and proper cold chain linkages should happen so that the basic product commodity goes out in good temperature. And also then we have to ensure a supplier strategy. When suddenly there is a good price in the export market, nobody will sell it to the domestic market, and suddenly the whole operations will collapse. So this is one more problem with the domestic market. Continuous supply should also happen, and then the product should be properly certified, antibiotic free. These kind of things are not just for export market. Even the Indian consumers now are asking, so this has to be ensured as well. Next slide. So what we have to plan and we have to act. So we have to think about realistic market linked price in the domestic market. Today morning the Director General sir was also telling about the price, same tilapia price in Kochi and the price in some other markets. So it all depends upon the market, and there it should be realistically priced, and some customer education should happen, and proper supply should be ensured, and some strategic partnerships to market. In small marketing efforts in isolation will not work. So the farmers or the groups of farmers have to take some initiative to make some strategic partnership, and some other government schemes, like the PMMSY schemes can be requested to, and they can be leveraged for this promotion of domestic market. So with that I end my talk today, and I hope I have been able to shed some light as to how an Indian domestic market company is able to operate in the Indian market, and give you a bird's eye view of the operations that we have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Edward. It was very, very interesting, and like the take-home message is only 3% of the seafood market is organized, rest all unorganized. So lot of scope, lot of people can come in, and the way the hygienic thing and all these things are they are taking care, really the way to go. So thank you, Edward, and now we'll move forward. We don't have much time actually, as the organizers have intimated, so we'll restrict as much as possible. So now we are listening to Sri Nitin Awasthi from Incred Equities, that is making Indian aquaculture investable. So as this sector, we know all the farmers, how that morning also they were telling, credit nohele, feed credit ray, chemical credit ray, input credit ray, nohele, it's very difficult. So what we need is a massive investment in this sector, and now many farmers are even not interested to continue farming. So in this regard, this company and Nitin and all, they are doing a great job, and as I was told, it's a very, very big company, and they are interested to develop and finance this sector. Now over to Mr. Nitin.
Could we have the presentation, please? Okay, just keep going through the slides. Okay, what we are basically going to talk about is why this sector has not been investable and how we are trying to make it investable. I am part of the Incred group. We do a lot of things in the Incred group. I'm not going to go through them in detail, but everything under the light in finance we are basically touching. Can you have the next slide? Again, a lot of things are happening in the group. Next slide, please. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Okay, what do we have in this sector? We have entrepreneurship, we have the product, and we have the market. So we got the plethora of opportunities, then why aren't investments happening in this space? What do we do? What is missing basically? Data, data, data. Why I'm repeating this is because you go to anybody, anywhere who wants to make an investment in anything and you do not know the market size, then that's where the problem starts. And that's exactly the problem in this space. So what we have done is, what we are trying to do is this: what, how, when. These are the things that data answers and help make better investment decisions. So how we are improving this is by aggregating data, structuring data, analyzing data. So when I say these are big fat words, but what basically I'm trying to say is, in the aquaculture industry, who is selling, at what price they're selling, who's buying, at what price they're buying on a monthly basis, and we're basically going to provide this information to everybody so that they can make this investment decision. So this is Shrimpo Media that we do. So what it does is, like I said, study of import-export price action, study of import-export volume data in a timely manner. So every month, as soon as the US data is uploaded, the next day we release this report. Next slide, please. So who all are using this today? We have equity investors. If I would like to say, almost every equity investor who invests in the aquaculture space is looking at it. If you look at companies like Avanti Feeds, approximately 20% of their holding is with institutions, and we would be serving almost the whole host of them. You look at a company like Apex Frozen, approximately 10% is with institutions, and we are again serving almost all the 10%. On the debt side, this is interesting. So the objective when we started with this was that we will serve equity participants, PE funds, VCs, etc. But what we saw was, even the debt side, there was a predominant complaint within the space that always happens, is that bankers don't understand aquaculture. So surprisingly to even me, what has happened is that my firm has also started to read these documents and come out with products basically to support the aquaculture industry. This is one of the products that we've come out on the debt front. Basically, vendor financing for shrimp exporters is happening, and that's actually happening in the umbrella of INCRED itself. Next slide, please. Next slide. These are the benefits, etc. So of the vendor financing which INCRED does. Next slide. Next slide. Yeah, now we'll showcase what Shrimpopedia is on the next slide after this. So this is basically what the report is. This is the January edition. What you have on the front page, it's that we have the trends of how the shrimp exports have been happening, and after that we give a prediction of ours based on the data. Obviously we can go wrong. We mostly go wrong, but we are near the target. So we analyze the US data in detail, where the US is buying from, what price it is buying from, how it has been buying, how the price has been moving. Next slide, please. Similarly, from Ecuador, who they are selling to, at what price they are selling to, what is their mix between US and China. And finally, India, how the price movement is happening, how the market participants are shaping up, and what is our prediction in the last chart. And this is a very important matrix that we cover, which is basically how the US market is shaping up between India and Ecuador. Because Ecuador has taken over as the largest exporter in the world, and it is eyeing US. I mean, however much people say that no, it's impossible, I would say India should take it as a serious threat. And the fact is that Ecuador is eyeing US, and if we do not start doing something very soon, we are going to have problems. And lastly, what we do in the report is whatever is there in the limelight, or whatever is there in focus, or whatever is drawing attention, or whatever requires the market participants' interest, we try to showcase that. And around that point, this was around the point when soya meal was in limelight. So what we did was we showcased how, why is the requirement, and what the government is doing on this front, and why it is doing. So I'll keep it short, and that's my presentation. And if anybody wants this document, they could contact Mr. Pradhan and contact me directly, and we could add you to the group, and you will get this on a monthly basis. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nitin. It was a wonderful analysis of the market and the trend and why, what, all those things what he was telling. So now we'll move to another topic. But I was, it was for half an hour prepared the slides, but I'll try to as soon as finish that one. So myself, Akshay Panigrai, I am representing SIBA, ICAR, Indian Council of Agricultural Research, SIBA. And I belong to this Baleswar, Bhadrak, this place, my hometown, and we have started working in this area, and tapare yade sade jai Bartaman Chennai re achi. Can you please, yeah, so this is so to say it's a odd man out here all among the marketing and all those topics. Biofloc technology, I think most of you would have known. आमे समस्ते ए गाँव रे ये रे एटी सेटी आमे देखचु गोटे छोटे छोटे टांकी रे फार्मर माने आरंभ कलेनी आउ सेतरे गुडाई समय आज सकाळे भी से कहउतिले जे इट्स काइंड ऑफ फेल्युअर लाइक एक्चुअली टेक्नोलॉजी रे फेल्युअर आपण कहि परिबेनी बट देन द प्रैक्टिस आमे करूचंती मु जस्ट गोटे कंपैरेटिव एनालिसिस आपण को देबी आमे पोखरी रे जो माछ चाष करू आमे सेठी प्रोडक्टिविटी जदि भाबिबे गोटे टन पानी रे गोटे क्यूबिक मीटर पानी रे हमको 500 ग्राम ता माने गोटे हेक्टर रे 5 टन पर हेक्टर आमे पाऊ एठी रे बायोफ्लॉक रे आमे हठात कोन भाबुचू हठात आमे भाबुचू 25 केजी 50 केजी माने केते गुण होउची तार 100 गुण होउची 50 गुण नले 100 गुण अधिक एकाथरे आमे जंप करिया को चेष्टा करचू जंप करबा पई एही जो टेक्नोलॉजी रो क्षमता अछि डेफिनेटली किंतु सेटा प्रॉपर वे रे साइंटिफिकली न कले तेनु आमे एटा जो टॉपिक ना साइंस बेस्ड बायोफ्लॉक फार्मिंग एटा नुहे जे बायोफ्लॉक फार्मिंग कैन नॉट बी डन विदाउट लाइक साइंस बिकॉज साइंटिफिक थिंग्स आर रिक्वायर्ड इवन टू मेजर आपनकर एतरे एमोनिया नाइट्राइट मु टिके खाली ए जो देखुचंती फिगर गुडा सेटा हला बायोफ्लॉक माइक्रोस्कोप रे केमती देखा जाए सेटा जो बैक्टीरिया गुडा फ्लॉक है कि टुगेदर सेटा को आमे बायोफ्लॉक किंतु एगुडा सब हला बहुत भलो बैक्टीरिया प्रोबायोटिक बैक्टीरिया आमे जोटा कहउचंती सेटा केमती क्रिएट करा होउची ना सेटा जस्ट जदी कार्बन नाइट्रोजन रेशियो गोटे जेतेबेले हमर जे कोनसी इंटेंसिव सिस्टम रे काहे कि एते सक्सेसफुल हेई पारुनी ना ये जेतेबेले आमे जो फीड दउचंती ता दरु 70% फीड जाउची पानी रे वेस्ट जाउची एंड फीड इज नथिंग बट प्रोटीन अगेन तार 16% हला नाइट्रोजन तेणु जो नाइट्रोजन जाउची जोटा एमोनिया क्रिएट करची सेटा बेसी प्रॉब्लम करची बा आमे जो इंटेंसिटीटा बढ़ाई पारनांती तेणु आमे जते कार्बन टिके तादर पकेइबा कार्बन माने आपनकर चीनी हो कि गुड़ हो कि मोलासिस हो गोटे कार्बन नाइट्रोजन रेशियो जते 10 रु बेसी जीवो गोटे प्रकार भलो बैक्टीरिया डेवलप होबो एंड से बैक्टीरियाटा ही ए बायोफ्लॉकटा क्रिएट करछि जोटा पई आपण जेते माछ स्टॉकिंग कले भी इट शुड बी गुड एटा सस्टेनेबल इंटेंसिफिकेशन हम जेते कहूचे आमे बेसी 50 केजी पर्यंत 80 केजी पर्यंत टिलापिया पंगा सेगुडा प्रोड्यूस हे पारुची चिंगुडी भी सेमती 10 केजी 9 केजी 10 केजी पर्यंत गोटे क्यूबिक मीटर रे प्रोड्यूस हे पारिबो ए बायोफ्लॉक रे काहे कि ना से एमोनियाटा को आमे टैकल करि पारचंती एटा पीएमएमएसवाई रो सबटू हाईएस्ट लाइक इनोवेटिव प्रोजेक्ट भितर जाउची यू कैन सी ओनली 2021 200 to 300 crore from government funding every village you go there is some subsidy there is some tank everything is there infrastructure is there but there is no technology no science and people are just doing and they fail some of them they are failing but there are so many success story also so इटा गोटिए टेक्नोलॉजी जो तरे इंडिया ऑलरेडी इन्वेस्टेड 10,000 crore आपण सबु आम ए जो भद्रक बालेश्वर रे प्रथमे बहुत 3 वर्ष तले देखिबे 10टा 12टा यूनिट थिला एबे किंतु देखिबे भर्ती माने हजार हजार सबु गाँ रे जांतु 10टा 15टा यूनिट ए बळे हाइची तेनु वर्तमान एते पैसा इन्वेस्ट करिकी वी विल नॉट अलाउ इट टू गो वेस्ट तेनु आमे ताकू साइंटिफिक करिया दरकार आउ जहा प्रोडक्शन प्रोजेक्शन अछि बहुत भलो नेक्स्ट वन एटा सब गुड़ा इको बेस्ड फार्मिंग सिस्टम अंडर रे जाउची ता बढिया नेक्स्ट जनरेशन मॉड्यूलर फार्मिंग आमे जदी एबे भाबिबे प्री ग्रो आउट नर्सरी इंटीग्रेशन गोटे बहुत भलो भाबे हेई पड़ची चाष रे सेमती आरएस बायोमिमिक्री ऑर्गेनिक एक्वाकल्चर एटा आमे ऑर्गेनिक एक्वाकल्चर स्टैंडर्डाइज करबा समय रे एटा ऑर्गेनिक पॉन्ड रा पिक्चर एंड द डाटा आल्सो 105 days we are getting 32-35 gram shrimp 1 to 1.5 ton production. Next one. सो जितेबाला आम नॉर्मल जिते चाष करती से जो देखते केमती लाभ उठुची ये हूँ किंतु बायोफ्लॉक सिस्टम रे आम कौन कर पानीटा को कन्वर्ट कर दूसरी आम जस्ट बैक्टीरियल एनवायरनमेंट रे से बैक्टीरियल एनवायरनमेंट रे प्लांटन रे कौन हो डिपेंडिंग ऑन सनलाइट केतबेले बेसी कम सकाळे डीओ कम दीपर बेसी पीएच टा कम सकाळे दीपर बेसी सो यही सब जो साइकिल ऑफ चेंज बायोफ्लॉक सिस्टम रे सेटा हबनी तेणु एपट साइड देखो बायोफ्लॉक वाटर क्वालिटी सेमती मेंटेन हम स्ट्रेस भी हेनी बिकज देयर इज नो मच फ्लक्चुएसन जो दिन में जो फ्लक्चुएसनटा हुए से बायोफ्लॉक सिस्टम रे बहुत कम. नेक्स्ट वन एटा है प्रिंसिपल ऑफ बायोफ्लॉक सिस्टम जोटा मु कहली गोटे साइड रे फीड दिया होची से 70% इज गोइंग वेस्ट अदर साइड यू आर गिविंग सम कार्बन इनपुट एंड व्हेन द कार्बन नाइट्रोजन रेशियो is 10 or 15:1 then this heterotrophic bacteria they flourish से जो heterotrophic bacteria को हमें biofloc bacteria कहते. नेक्स्ट वन एटा है दिस मोर साइंटिफिक थिंग जो पानी रे फोटो ऑटोट्रोफिक सिस्टम केमो ऑटोट्रोफिक सिस्टम हेटरोट्रोफिक सिस्टम केमिति होची कार्बन नाइट्रोजन रेशियो कहीं कि गोटे बैक्टीरियल सेल वाल आउ गोटे ब्यूटी ऑफ दिस सिस्टम इज दैट whatever your ammonia nitrate as a waste product is converting into bacterial cell bacterial protein तेणु सेटा पुणी अगेन इट विल बी कंज्यूम जो मैंने श्रिम्प कल्चर कर नर्सरी कले आप बायोफ्लॉक रे करेंगे फीड कंजप्शन इज वेरी लेस बिकॉज यू आर प्रोड्यूसिंग इन सिटू फीड एंड 24 hours फीड इज अवेलेबल ऑल्सो. नेक्स्ट वन सो दीज आर दी जो एडवांटेज जोटा मु कहली स्ट्रेस फ्री बिकॉज सालिनिटी बिकॉज पीएच डीओ एगुड़ा सब चेंज होनी ओवर द टाइम जेतिक एमोनिया नाइट्राइट कंज्यूम हो गला सो देयर इज नो नाइट्रोजनस मेटाबोलाइट्स and there is it's a sustainable practice and 2 times the feed is utilized दी थर आपनकर से प्रोटीन फीड टा यूटिलाइज हला एंड वेस्ट टू वेल्थ रे कन्वर्ट हला. नेक्स्ट वन सो दिस इज आउ गोटे फ्यूचरिस्टिक ये हला हमर जो फीड कॉस्ट इज इंक्रीजिंग फॉर द श्रिम्प pellet feed it is because we are all depending on only fish meal. ए बायोफ्लॉक जोटा होची सेटा यदि आमे हार्वेस्ट करि परिबा से जो स्लज ये पूर्वरु जो बायोफ्लॉक येटा जदि एक्सेस बायोफ्लॉक टा हार्वेस्ट ही परिबो सेटा आमे जदि एटा ड्राइड बायोफ्लॉक मिल सेटा भी 5% 10% फीड रे इंक्लूड करा जाई परिबो एंड दैट इज द वंडरफुल प्रोटीन सोर्स एटा तादरे 20% रु 40% प्रोटीन अछि से फीडटा देले आपनकर फीड कंजप्शन भी बहुत भलो हबो एंड इट विल बी वेरी नाइस एंड दिस वी आर लुकिंग एज द फ्यूचरिस्टिक वे हाउ टू रिड्यूस द प्राइस आपनकर कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन कमिले ही आप एबे सस्टेनेबल हे परिबो एक्वाकल्चर. नेक्स्ट वन सो दीज आर ऑल केते प्रैक्टिस एटा हमर एठी आपनकर एठी हम करथिलु 3-4 वर्ष तळे हम दरडा ये सहाडा रे गोटे जो एम्बिशियस दिस नर्सरी सिस्टम एटा जदि देखिबे सर्वाइवल वाज 92 to 95%. अंजन इज हियर अंजन आसी. नेक्स्ट वन एटा आउ गोटे प्रोडक्शन सिस्टम जोटी कि जेते कंपेयर करिवे ग्रोथ को एबीडब्ल्यू आप खाली 30% अधिका ग्रोथ ही पारुची सिस्टम रे कहीं कि ना इट्स अ वेरी न्यूट्रिशियस सिस्टम आप जो बैक्टीरियल प्रोटीन इज वेरी दिस वन for fresh water there are some limitation but for Venamai farming it is seen that biofloc is a wonderful system. It gives you can save in terms of feed in terms of your money you are spending for chemical antibiotics and all these things because it's a natural probiotic system. Next one. So this is again another कौन यूज हो पार गुड़र केते प्रकार माने कार्बोहाइड्रेट सोर्स जेकोसी आपनकर चाउल गुंड हो कि गुड़ हो मोलासेस हो जेकोसी प्रकार आमे सेतरे गुड़ाय प्रकार एक्सपेरिमेंट करिकी सो पब्लिश करछु पेपर. नेक्स्ट वन दिस इज वे बैक 2014 रे एटा आमे करिकी देखैथिलु जे बायोफ्लॉक रे केमती 30-40 ग्राम चिंगुडी हेई परची बहुत इजीली. नेक्स्ट एटा आउ एबे जो इंडिया रे केते जण फार्मर करूचंती बायोफ्लॉक बेस्ड फार्मिंग तांकर माने बहुत सुंदर भावे एफसीआर देखंतु 1.4 1.4 कन्वेंशनल 1.6 एल को बायोफ्लॉक रे 1.4 एमती प्रोडक्शन कैपेसिटी आल्सो ऑलमोस्ट लाइक 3 times compared to this one. एटी फार्मर माने गोटे निशांत रेड्डी जने अछंती आंध्र प्रदेश रे किए जदि जानथिबे नले तमिलनाडु रे भी गोटे हाईटाइड फार्म अछि सूर्य कुमार and so many farms they are doing so good but investment initial investment एतिर अधिक तेणु सेति पई टिके ये किंतु प्रोडक्शन प्रोडक्टिविटी रे बहुत अधिक. नेक्स्ट वन एटा भी जो फ्रेश वाटर रे जो हम स्काम्पी तार भी देखंतु ग्रोथ सर्वाइवल एटलीस्ट दी नर्सरी one can try with biofloc that gives a very wonderful result. Next one एटा जो डिफरेंट स्पेसीज है देखो तो अपन टिलापिया रु आरंभ करिकी कार्प रु आरंभ करिकी कैटफिश रे देसी मागुर सिंगी पंगास पापदा ये सब गुड़ा कल्चर हो पार्ची 5 रु 6 मास भितरे आपन को प्रोडक्शन 500 रु 600 केजी टिलापिया और पंगास हला बेलू सिंगी आदि 150 to 200 kg. So high value fish one can try always and that gives some good return. Next one. So this is some economic analysis but this is a nursery jetole ame korchu how that in the best scenario when your survival is good and the price is good when your rate of return is so good 1.65 this one but when the survival is little less or the price is less then it could be less also. Next one. So there are lot of issues here. Why? Because it's a new अपन जेकोसी चाष देखंतु it needs some time गोटे कोर्स करेक्शन था ये है मात्र इट्स यंगेस्ट टेक्नोलॉजी ओनली 2 वर्ष आगु ये टेक्नोलॉजी 2-3 वर्ष आगु इंट्रोड्यूस होती तेणु इट्स ए कोर्स करेक्शन पीरियड किसी लोक सेमती ये है बट इट इज ए वेरी स्ट्रांग टेक्नोलॉजी एंड इट इज गोइंग टू सर्वाइव. नेक्स्ट वन तो ये जो डिफरेंट वेराइटी ऑफ फिश बहुत गुडे टाइप रे देखंतु बेक्टी माछ ठू आरंभ करके चानस आउ रूपचांद बहुत गुडे माछ एतरे कल्चर हे पारुची बहुत सक्सेसफुली किंतु सुइटेबल स्पेसीज को सिलेक्ट करिया दरकार. आप जो टिलापिया सकाळ कहउतिले 80 टंका सेटा आदो सेटा करले किछि लाभ नै काना एतरे कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन ता अधिक. नेक्स्ट वन and so lot of design issues are there where you have a central drainage system एठी गुटे कोन होची बैक्टीरिया गुडा जो क्रिएट होचंती से तो सेटल करिवे सेटा को स्लज कहउछु सेटा को सब फ्लश आउट करिवा दरकार. नेक्स्ट वन the aeration system there be lot of revolution you can see how that it is just the system is under suspension आपनकर खाली जे दि चारटा सेही पई गुडाई लोक भी फेल होचंती जे हमर जो जे सब पंडित माने कहउचंती जे दीटा चारटा एयर स्टोन ताको दे दियो सेतरे हबो 6टा एयर स्टोन गुटे टैंकी रे दैट इज नॉट गोइंग टू वर्क. आपण जो बायोफ्लॉक रो जो बैक्टीरियाटा एटा हला एरोबिक बैक्टीरिया सेटा को पूरा सिस्टम टा को सस्पेंशन रे रखियो पड़िबो सेही बळिया एयरेशन न हेले ए टेक्नोलॉजी सक्सेसफुल हबो नाही. नेक्स्ट वन एटा सब आमे चारियाडे देखैछु कोन कोन डिजाइन करी कि हाउ यू गेट गुड सक्सेस. नेक्स्ट वन एटा आमे एस्टैब्लिश करछु डिफरेंट जगह रे एटा गुटे बायोफ्लॉक पॉन्ड रो फोटो गुटे एटी गोटे हेक्टर रे ऑलमोस्ट 80 HP रो पावर से माने लगाउचंती 80 HP अप टू 80 HP डिपेंड प्रोडक्शन आल्सो लाइक दैट 30 टन 40 टन पर्यंत दे हैव हार्वेस्टेड. नेक्स्ट वन एटा बायोफ्लॉक केमती जनरेशन जनरेट करिवे देयर आर डिफरेंट वेज वन इज नेचुरली यू कैन चेंज फ्रॉम ऑटोट्रॉफिक टू हेटेरोट्रॉफिक सिस्टम और यू कैन इनाकुलेट आम पाखरे सिबारे बायोफ्लॉक रे इनाकुलम अछि whoever is interested you can contact आमे ट्रेनिंग भी दोचु बहुत साइंटिफिक ट्रेनिंग whoever interested you can contact ए कोविड रे 2 वर्ष भलो भाबे हेइ नतला ट्रेनिंग बट henceforth we will be doing that training. Next one. So this is all the quality seed and all these things are important you know. Next. Yeah, next. This is again water quality, how the tan and this one should be less than 1, alkalinity should be above. When you add this jaggery ये जेतले add करिवे alkalinity टा खसी जिवो सेतले आपन को डोलोमाइट हो सोडियम बाइकार्बोनेट हेउ से 5 to 10 ppm देई के alkalinity you have to maintain. That is one of the thing where bacteria will be happy and if they are happy your shrimp will be happy. Next one. So this health monitoring again, all these things, all the disease. First thing is here clean PL. The quality seed is important, and the other things also the proper bioremediation is taking place or not. And next one. Yeah, these are all like slows. Slows again. How you because lot of bacteria when they produce, a bacteria ta आधे घंटे रे double हो जिवो. धरो गोटे लक्ष्य bacteria अछंती से 5 घंटा 10 घंटा परे से 1 million 1 billion हो जिवे after one day. So it's a very very tremendous growth capacity. And when they grow like that, bacteria टा जितले एते बढ़िबो से अनुसार स्लज भी तयारी होबो. सब दिन सेति पई स्लज टा को बाहर करियो पडियो थ्रू सेंट्रल ड्रेनेज सिस्टम. So that is the demerit. You have to always take care of the sloughs, how you can remove, because ଯଦି sloughs remove ନ କରିବେ ମାଛର ଚିଙ୍ଗୁଡିର ଗାଲିରେ ସବୁ ସେଗୁଡ଼ା ଲାଗିକି that will create stress. Next one. Yeah, these are all feeding and usual things. Next. Yeah, the 80 disease. आमे तो प्रथम भावुतलु जे एतरे बायोफ्लॉक माने एवरीथिंग गुड बट यू डिजीज मे नॉट बी, किंतु आमे भी देखछु केते प्रकार डिजीज ए नुआ टाइप रो जो जेली डिजीज प्लास्टिक कवर लाइक सेप, but now slowly we know the treatment method also, what kind of treatment even our shrimp, this triple salt and all people give to treat this one, even the skin ulcer, that is also another thing. Then operculum divertum, there jetebale apankar vitamin shortage hobo se fast re jemti dekhaichi semti shape hobo, so different kind of thing, so you should always consult some expert who knows and then you do. Next one. एटा सब आमर साइंटिफिक केमिति आमे विब्रियोटा कम रहउची थ्रो मेटाजिनोमिक्स एंड एंटी विब्रियो कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स आमे एटा वी हैव फाइंड आउट एंड वी हैव पब्लिश्ड आल्सो दिस पेपर्स. नेक्स्ट वन. ते देखो एई चिंगुडीटा जेते बेले आपण देखिबे बायोफ्लॉक रे ता पेटरे सब बेले सेमति दानाटा फुल थिबो, काहे कि ना बायोफ्लॉक इज अ वेरी गुड न्यूट्रिएंट सोर्स एंड इट एक्ट्स लाइक ऑलवेज इट विल बी प्रोवाइडिंग नाइस फूड. नेक्स्ट वन. एटा गोटे आम हार्वेस्टर डेभलप करछु. बायोफ्लॉक जो मेटेरियलटा सेटा आपण हार्वेस्ट करिकी जदि खरारे सुखेबे ताको भी फीड रे मिसेकी पहणा नले अन्य माछ को देई परिबे. नेक्स्ट वन. एंड एटा आम रिसेंटली गोटे साइंटिफिक रिपोर्ट, इट इज वन ऑफ द प्रेस्टिजियस जर्नल, एतरे आम देखि जे प्रोबायोटिक हाउ प्रोबायोटिकटा can give a proper direction to this biofloc system and how you can get better production. आमर ए प्रोबायोटिक को नहीं कि आम पाखरे कंसोर्शियम अछि, जो भाई माने चाहिबे you can contact us. नेक्स्ट वन. एट्रे से देखु केमती भिब्रियोटा क्लम आमर ये जो ब्राकिशोट चिंगुड़ी चाष मेन प्रॉब्लम है भिब्रियो बैक्टीरिया. जदि आम ये बायोफ्लॉक थ्रो रे आम से गोटे प्रोटीन बाहर करछु से बायोफ्लॉक सिस्टम रु जोटा देले देखुछु जे भिब्रियो फिब्रियो किछि थिबो जदि सेटा क्लॉग हेकी सेटा नष्ट हो जाउछि. नेक्स्ट वन. एटा सब ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम आमर एटिकार एमपी सार एठी जाइकी सेठी आम सहित करथिले भी एमओयू करथिले किछि टू प्रोग्रेस दिस बायोफ्लॉक एंड ऑल एक्स एमपी. नेक्स्ट वन. So it is a shift in policy and road map. What should be the strategy? आमर एवे एपर्यंत we don't have a proper policy. केते stocking करा जीवो बायोफ्लॉक रे, you should give a higher stocking limit. नॉल इट इज नॉट वायबल. आप अल्प 10 पीस 20 पीस करिकी कहबे मु बायोफ्लॉक करिवि से नष्ट, कहीं आप फीड सहित यू आर पुटिंग सम अदर इनपुट ऑल्सो इन टर्म्स ऑफ कार्बन सोर्स, इन टर्म्स ऑफ अदर थिंग यू आर पुटिंग. तेणु सेटा गोटे इंपोर्टेंट थिंग, सेटा भी हेनी. पीएमएमएसवाई रे बहुत टंका दिया जाउची, बट देन देयर इज नो गाइडेंस, and then this there is a strong need for basic and strategic research under PMMSY and other because only demonstration and capital subsidy is not enough. Then in the innovative technology for sustainable intensification, आमे कथा होचंती जो sustainable intensification केमती करा हे परिबो, and this is one of the best way. Next one. Yeah, एवडा सब हम publication ए last year रो. Thank you so much. So now जदि किछि आपनकर पचारिवार अछि किछि प्रश्न क्विकली जो सार माने प्रेजेंट कले आपण कहि परिबे, जदि दि तीनटा प्रश्न किछि कहबे, अदरवाइज आई विल बाइंड अप. आपण ठियाई कि कोंतु कार जदि किछि अछि डाउट. यस सर. ए मो कहउतली अंजन बाबू कथा से आसिक एबे पहुंचली. थैंक यू. आम जो डाइवर्सिफिकेशन उपरे कहते सी ए नुआ चाषी जन सी भी कर सब डाइवर्सिफाइड स्पेसीज. ये बस गुड इवनिंग सर. Which seaweeds.
So I will answer.
Okay.
Yeah, no. So you can. Yeah. So this seaweed, we are experimental stage. The research is going on. I think still it is at that experimental stage. So once we have taken it the commercial level trials, so we can see how useful it is. The proteins are how much digestible, okay, and what is the growth parameters we will get. It will take some more time. No, so it is in the research stage, so it can't this thing. Yeah.
How do you go for a soil with
Soil regeneration will require a very integrated approach. Okay, it starts with giving a adequate amount of rest when you have taken successive culture, taking out the bottom of the pond, scrapping, and also doing adequate amount of fertigation. Okay, so that is what we recommend. It's same, the principle holds true for the plant crops also, where we talk about the soil regenerative capacity. Yes.
But the word is soil regeneration is a small word, but it's very, very important.
Yes.
It is the major problem.
Yes.
It
Yes.
is the major problem for the fishermen.
Correct. Yes, and it also requires that adequate soil testing, because some of the nutrients may be adequately present, some are not present. So we actually need to know what you need to fertilize it with.
And I will say in Canada,
Uh-huh.
in Japan,
Huh.
soil is destroyed.
Mm.
Nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
Soil is needed.
Correct.
Their agriculture crops are doing.
Yes.
Our soils are good.
Mm.
We are, our soils are very 0.001%.
Yes.
We are able to regenerate.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. I have a question to Mr. Chakraborty first. And what are the things you are doing in insects feed to the industry? Because in the part they have started doing the seed to placement of fish meal and feed meal. Insect feed is the next thing where you have soon it is on the pilot scale.
Yes.
And,
So-
what are the things you are doing?
Correct. So in our Godrej Research Center, we have been experimenting, like just I said, for the weed also, insect protein. So we are working with a startup actually. They have given us the source, and it is at various protein levels, starting from 50 to 60% at different levels. So again, we are checking the digestibility part and also the growth parameters. So I think it will take some time to take it to the commercial level. It's already at the commercial application level at the neighboring Southeast Asian countries. European countries are also using this very much. In India, it will take some time. Most of the good companies, they are working on it very, very seriously. So I think in a year or so, we should be able to use it at a commercial level.
Because it is the next thing where we
Yeah.
have a placement of the feed meal.
So no, definitely it's a very good source of protein. Okay, the amino acid profile is also very good, but how do we source it at a large scale? That will be the challenge. Okay, because we will require huge quantity, the kind of feed we produce annually in India, and this is equally useful in poultry and dairy feed also. At least in poultry, it will also find source, and there will be competition then again between the industry. But still, it cannot fully replace, but even if it can replace a few percentage of the fish meal, it will be very beneficial in terms of reducing the cost.
Definitely. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Thank
I have a question to Mr. Edward. Yeah, it's like how it is you guys are good to leases, right? Because they are also in the market. And second part of the thing is what is the USP you are selling on them, right? And what is the lastly advantage you are giving? And in terms of SCM, how your guys are doing in SCM? And what are the cold storage facilities you have to support to the market, and what are the facilities? If I'll ask at Bhubaneswar or also, or what are the institutions you have tied up to get into the market? And
There was a whole bunch of questions. I've lost track. Anyway, I will try to. No, that's I will go one by one. Yeah. So yeah.
how you guys are different to leases?
Okay, so in the market, not only Licious, there will be so many other startups and other businesses just like us. So now if you ask me, if they know I am from Fresh to Home, they will not let me come anywhere near them, correct? So I have no clue how they are. They are similar to, what I can tell is they are like us, or like a e-commerce platform which has their own integration and delivery chain. This is all I can tell about them. But it is a very similar business. That's what I wanted to tell you. So there are also other fellows like Tendercuts, like Licious, Fipola is there, and nowadays a lot of new people, or Nandus has come in for poultry. So like that, a lot of new people have come in. Yeah. So the next question.
Next question is, what is the last mile advantage you are giving to the customer?
So for the customer,
Coming to supply chain management, sir.
see, they don't need to do. See, if you are talking about customer, they just have an app on their phone, and if they want the product tomorrow, they should order by today's cutoff. For example, in Bangalore, we have 4 deliveries: morning 1, morning 2, evening 1, evening 2. That means deliveries start at morning 6 o'clock and go right down to evening 7 o'clock. Other than this, we have an express delivery that is only in selected locations that will deliver in 90 minutes. And the product profile might not be as much as what you can order from the factory. So you can go on to the app, you can see once the product is available, you have to order, and the very next day it is delivered. So from how it starts is, in the factory itself, you must have seen the packing slide where each product is picked. There's a pick list. Suppose you are ordering from us half kg chicken, half kg fish, half kg prawn. All these 3 products are taken from different lines and integrated into one bag with one QR code. So that bag is specifically meant for you. It is not disturbed anywhere. Then it is put into an ice box, loaded, it goes to a hub. So the hub will again have, Bangalore is for example divided into 20 hubs. From those hubs, again there will be 10 routes, 8 routes depending upon the size of the hub. And on whichever route you are, through the QR code, it will track and it will reach you. So when the delivery boy takes the product, he will put in his app, yes, I have taken this particular order. He will get a list of orders what he has to deliver on his route. Then based on that, he will physically verify and he will say, yes, I have taken. From the time he is taken and punched into his system, the packet is tracked, and we also see how many minutes the delivery fellow will take to deliver the product. So each delivery man can only take 8 packets in his bag. After 8 packets, it will get locked. He cannot deliver. So he should deliver and somebody else will deliver the next 8 packs, like that. So it is very well digitally controlled.
Coming to that, if I have a marriage for next 5 days,
Yeah.
I have to order 50 kgs of fish
Yeah.
from you.
Yeah. You can order only if it is 24 hours, because we don't even know what fish we have tomorrow, because it depends upon the catch. So we don't take any advance orders 3 days hence, 5 days hence, we don't take.
Because how the system will work in longer run.
See, for us, we are a very clear market where we want to fulfill the customer requirement for his personal requirement. Now, if he has any large scale requirement, he can call our customer care and they will check back with the factory if such a thing can be booked.
I think we are running out of time.
Yeah.
If you have any doubt further, we can discuss. So if there is any other question,
If you have any question, you can just drop us. Then we can share with the concerned speaker. Then your answer will be given to you. Okay. Okay. So any further question to Nitin or anybody?
I have a question for Nitin.
Yeah, okay,
So,
yeah.
Nitin, you were talking about difficulties in data collection, but shrimp is one of, shrimp industry as such is one of the industries which has so much of data in it actually. So I think you should broad base a little bit. So what type of difficulties data?
Very, very simply put, which is the authority that puts out the data for the amount of shrimp produced in the country?
That's MPDA.
When does it put it out?
It has its own websites and it has its annual reports and
It
stuff
has
like
its
that.
Annual report.
Yeah.
When does the annual report come out?
There are reports, and also there is a daily
But there's a big lag.
pricing mechanism is there.
There's a very big lag, sir.
Okay.
That's why when the last time companies came out with their IPOs, there was a very big run for the data and there was no sensible data to be found, because there was a very big lag between NPDA giving the data and NPDA gives India data. So we cannot compare it with everybody else's data, because our financial year is different from everybody else's financial year.
Okay.
So what
So
we
you
did
need to
is
maybe
one
take it
common-
up with them.
One common currency, US dollar, and a common monthly calendar year pattern. So standardized data, which is comparable and which you have
fit right.
Okay.
There is always a room for improvement. There is no doubt. But they are doing a little authentically, we can say, because they are taking the data from the export. That's why it takes some time. But as you are telling, there are some time lag and it can be taken care of. So anyway, I would like to thank all the speakers from my bottom of my heart, and it was really indeed very nice deliberation. And so some of the things were so interesting. This place to home and all. I remember the hygienic thing which there. Someone was asking what is that the main thing to start this one. Those things they respect that hygienic part of the thing. हमें जोड़ा कि बहुत easily know in India. Like वो कौन सी जापान में थी पूरा density जो auction market से market में जो माछो बिक्री होती है उसी पाखरे जाएगी अपन जो sushi sashimi कहते नहीं काटी संगे संग से बिक्री करिए खाइए. It is possible to eat that way. In India अपन यदि खाइए तो आप उतने definitely hospital. So that respect for that hygienic and those traceability is another thing. So it was a wonderful talk, Mr. Edward, and so also the group, and so nicely was covering all the aspect of how they are going with the new innovations, and the market is always important, as already told by the organizers. So thank you so much for the nice hearing and giving us a good year. Thank you. See you again.
Thank you so much, sir, and everyone had given their valuable comments and very, very expensive session, in fact, and I'm sure the takeaways would be really appreciable by all of you, and if you have really taken some gist out of the session, please put your hands together for our eminent speakers present on the dais. Right now, a small token of appreciation from our end, Smart Aqua Expo India 2022 first day was really interactive, is really interactive and valuable. So I request Mr. Prabhash Pradhan, Chief Editor, Smart AgriPost and Aquapost, to represent a small token of appreciation, a gesture of love and memento and a bouquet to Dr. Akshay Panigrahi, Principal Scientist, ICAR, CIBA. May we present the same to Sri Nitin Awasthi, Incred Equities. Thank you. And let us take the opportunity to honor Dr. Edward Dennis, Chief R&D Office, Fresh to Home Foods Private Limited. What an opening session it was. Thank you. And this is for Sri Dhruv Jyoti Banerjee, CEO, Godrej Agrovet Aquafed Business. Thank you, dignitaries, for your time and presence. I request all of you to please be seated below so that we can arrange for the entertaining session. We are having musical session, to be very clear, because we are having two of the eminent singers with us, so who will be enlightening the moment, and of course the audience who are with us. I am really thankful from the entire organizing committee, and we'll be seeking 5 to 7 minutes break so that we can arrange the stage for the same along with the band. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Yes, Kolkata. I'm here till tomorrow morning. I'll be leaving for Kolkata.
Tomorrow, same time, we will be having the second day with another set of eminent speakers who would be present over here for their wonderful addressing to the wonderful, wonderful set of audience whom we have today. So I request all of you to please be present tomorrow, and but do not leave the venue as of now, because our singers, the band, the musical band, they are getting ready for an enlightening performance. Thank you so much.
এইটা মু মেশিন লগে लैपटॉप में नहीं लगाया
बड़ी वाली लगी उसमें छोटी वाली लगी।
सर से पूछिए ना सर जो वो बैठे थे
वो कह रहे हैं उनके पता नहीं।
बहुत अच्छी এটা এটা তুমি দিয়ে দিও মামন ম্যাডাম
Hello. 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 Output होगा box. Hello. 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 Hello.
Hello. Six. Hello. 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 Hello.
চেয়ারে বসে
Hello.
চারটে
Hello. Hello. Hello.
তার কান্না শুকিব না
হ্যাঁ এটা লম্বা আছে
Hello. Six. Hello. Hello.
ভাই ମୋ ପାଖରେ ପେନ୍ ଡ୍ରାଇଭ୍ ନାହିଁ ସେ ଆର ପାଖରୁ ଗିରିଛି দেখ দেখ করি আগে সে ব্লক তারপরে মরি আই যে ভাবছি দেখ কম্পিউটার পড়তে চল
আগ করি কোন খান সিডি লগে আগ পিডি আগ গুটে লাগিও
এটা অফ করে দেছো লুনা বই এটা অফ করে দেছো করে দিয়েছি অফ হ্যাঁ ହେଲା ତାପରେ ମିଟିଂ ଅଛି ନା ସରିଯିବ ଚାଲିକି ହଁ
সেটা একটু দিই তো মাইক্রো বই ইউডা বসা
সেটা কর
এউডা মাইক্রোফোন লাগলা হ্যাঁ তিনটা দিই এটা কোন গোটে কোন তিনটা লাগি আমার ফিডব্যাক করে পাবো ସେଇଟା କିଛି ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ ଏଇ ପଛରେ ଖାନ ଦେବି ଭାଇ ପଛପଟୁ ଲଗେଇ ଦିଅ ଦୁଇଟା ପଏଣ୍ଟ ଫାଙ୍କା ଅଛି ନା ଦୁଇଟା ଲଗେଇ ଦିଅ ଆହୁରି ଗୋଟେ ଏଇଠି ନିଅ ଦେଖିକି ଲାଇନ୍ ସେଟାର ଅଛି
তুমি আউট দিও না কি সব করতে কি করতে এটা বন্ধ হচ্ছে না সে থাক 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 সে থাক এইটা এইটুকু বাস থাক থাক থাক
Hello. 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 Say. Hello. 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 Say. Hello. Hello. Hello, 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 hello. 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 Check. Hello. 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 Check. Hello. 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 Hello.
नमस्कार एवरीवन, गुड इवनिंग। आप सभी का स्वागत करती हूँ फिर से। I'm so sorry I'm in formal dress but still have to do the job. So अभी हमारे बीच में अविनाश है, यहाँ के बहुत ही फेमस सिंगर जो प्लेबैक सिंगिंग भी कर रहे हैं हॉलीवुड म्यूजिक इंडस्ट्री के लिए एंड काफ़ी ज़्यादा पॉपुलर है मेल प्लेबैक सिंगिंग में। एंड उनके साथ और एक फीमेल सिंगर भी है, उनका नाम है गीतिश्री। तो वो भी बहुत कम समय में आपको ज्वाइन करेंगे। तो सबसे पहले शुरुआत करेंगे आज की शाम जो है म्यूजिकल महफिल के नाम एंड स्मार्ट एक्वा इंडिया एक्सपो 2022 का। ये है हमारा एंटरटेनिंग सेशन डेडिकेटेड फॉर यू। सो द बैंड इज ऑल सेट एंड आवर सिंगर इज ऑल सेट, सो प्लीज एंजॉय। बट उससे पहले हमारे उड़ीसा के मिट्टी में बालेश्वर में आप लोग आए हैं, आप सभी का बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। फॉर्मली सेशन चलता रहा, आप लोग बहुत कोऑपरेट किए, बट अभी म्यूजिकल सेशन से पहले हमारे सिंगर के लिए और बैंड के लिए थोड़ी सी ताली की उम्मीद करूंगी आप लोगों से। थैंक यू सो मच एंड ओवर टू अविनाश एंड आफ्टर दैट गीतिश्री विल जॉइन। गीतिश्री भी आएंगी, गाना गाएंगे, दोनों का डुएट सिंगिंग भी होगा, आप लोग एंजॉय करेंगे। थैंक यू सो मच वंस अगेन फॉर द एंटायर ऑर्गेनाइजिंग कमिटी। थैंक यू।
जो भाषा है हम चाहते हैं कि आप लोग थोड़ा आ जाइए ताकि सब गाएंगे थोड़ा अच्छा लगेगा। तो इसलिए जो बाहर है प्लीज आप लोग इन्फॉर्म कर दीजिए कि थोड़ा आ जाइए। हम लोग आपके लिए आए हैं भुवनेश्वर से। थोड़ा सा डिले हो गया है क्योंकि पहले थोड़ा स्टार्ट करना था हम लोग समझते हैं। हम लोग चाहते हैं कि थोड़ा आ जाइए जो बाहर है, जो लोग नहीं पता जिनको कि यहाँ प्रोग्राम हो रहा है करके आ जाइए। तो शुरू करते हैं। तबला तबला डिग्री टीके कमाओ डिग्री टीके कमाओ हल्का टिके डिग्री हल्का डिग्री टिके हल्का हम लोग शुरू करने वाले हैं एक ओडिया माँ का गाना से सब माँ होती है हमारी लाइफ में माँ का जो हाथ है बहुत है तो इसीलिए माँ के बारे में एक गाना गाना चाहता हूँ आशा करता हूँ सबको अच्छा लगेगा